Classroom Management Commandment number 5, you must deal with problems consistently, giving consequences when necessary. So we started talking about this in the last commandment about writing down your planned responses, but we're going to dive a little deeper here. So the first thing is that we have to deal with problems consistently, right? And consistency can be so hard, but when we have planned responses, it is a super big help because we're no longer dealing with things just, depends how I feel the given day. If I'm in a good mood, I let things go. If I'm frustrated, I come down really hard. No, we've established the line, and every time a student crosses it, we're going to deal with it the same way. So this is kind of the natural outpouring of the previous commandment where we plan our responses. Now, though, we do have to be incredibly careful to deal with them as consistently as we can. We won't be perfect, but when we miss one, we would just want to be ready with the next one to go back to our plan and be as consistent as possible. The second part of this commandment, though, is that we need to be willing to give consequences when necessary. Now, consequences, for a whole lot of reasons that we don't have time to get into right now, are really out of vogue in education today, but they shouldn't be. Consequences are a natural part of life. They are a good teaching tool for students, and it is good for students to experience consequences. I don't have time to get into all of the why behind it in this video. We can link to below some things where we go into more detail into why, but truly I believe that consequences are good for students, and they're not our entire classroom management plan, but they should be a piece of it. We should not be afraid to give consequences when they're needed. So I want to encourage you to use consequences as part of your plan. When you write your planned responses, include consequences wisely where they make sense. When you're thinking clearly, you sit down and you decide, where do consequences make sense? And then when you're in the moment in your classroom and the thing that happens and you wrote down before, this is the consequence, then you need to follow through and consistently enforce it. And in doing so, you are really helping your students learn and grow, and you're going to create an environment that is orderly and controlled and where students can actually learn. Now, there's so much more that we could say about this. How do you figure out what the consequences are? What do you do if an administrator is not supportive of your consequences? Those are the types of things we dive into in way more detail in Classroom Management 101. So if you're ready for that step-by-step help, get the details down below. Otherwise, continue on in this classroom management series. I can't wait to see you in the next video. And don't forget about the starter pack too, available down below.